Don't be like me. This is one of the biggest mistakes that I ever made. This has robbed me of years of musical enjoyment. This is my stupid choice. I developed and conditioned myself to have a big, fat musical ego. Now, I can proudly say I fucking love Coldplay. I'm not afraid to say it anymore, okay? Um, I don't care what anyone else thinks. I'm through with all that. I love Coldplay. I love Maroon 5, Travis, all these bands. Now, what do all these bands have in common? Maroon 5, Travis, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Metallica, U2. People absolutely love to hate them. Now, why do people hate them? And this is including me for a long time. For me personally, I developed a musical ego by getting into old music. So it started out with stuff like Queen, the Beatles, Rolling Stones, and over time, as I got deeper and deeper into this older music category, I guess you call it, so soul music, reggae, it just seemed that it just got worse over time. And to be honest, I couldn't have been more wrong, because you've got beautiful music in every single genre. And after the 2000s, I just kind of set myself this limit that I was like, oh, I always looked at it with a air of caution that I was like, oh, that has a bit of a whiff of chart music. That smells a wee bit funny, you know what I mean? Smells a bit like pop music to me. So this robbed me of years of musical enjoyment, of listening to bands like Coldplay, Maroon 5, U2, you know. U2 had that whole fiasco with Apple Music, and I didn't even realize that they were one of the biggest rock bands of all time, and one of the best rock bands of all time. I didn't even know, because I'd conditioned myself to, whenever I heard U2, I was like, oh no, crap. Instantly, I was just like, no, crap. Same with Coldplay, Maroon 5. And what opened the gates for me was Coldplay was probably one of the biggest ones, because I was like, oh, it's just for teenage girls, man. Like, I'm a rock music lover. I listen to the Beatles, man. And it's like, come on, don't be stupid, mate. And eventually I realized I loved the song Clocks. The doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. It's a beautiful song. Everyone knows that one as well. The Scientist, Clocks, everyone knows those two, and Yellow. And I had such a bad perception of them because of their later music, and I just thought it was a bit cringy. And now I don't really, but Coldplay was the one that when I listened to Rush of Blood to the Head, it just, boom, opened the musical floodgate, the pop music floodgate for me. And my musical ego died in that instant because I was blown away by how good Rush of Blood to the Head is. And currently, my non-guilty pleasure actually is Maroon 5. That first album, Songs About Jane, is incredible. Some of the guitar work reminds me of Jimi Hendrix on there. The vocals are fantastic. They use crazy chords. Like in This Love, there's like a B diminished 7 that just keeps returning. Diminished 7. Like when do you hear that? Hear that in a pop music song? Like since the Beatles used a lot of diminished, obviously not all the time, but interesting, very musically complex, and this is why I put it off for so long. It's because I was like, it's just 4 chords, mate. Nah. There's some absolutely beautiful pop music, chart music, and there's a reason why it's so popular. So I set you this challenge. Which artists have you actively chosen to dislike? Have you conditioned yourself to dislike without ever having listened to them? You'll know who this is. It could be Metallica, it could be Beyonce, it could be Ed Sheeran, whatever. But just remember there's a reason why these artists are so popular. So I'm setting myself the challenge, and I want you to do the same, that I'm going to listen to Beyonce. and I'm just going to get into it. Why not? Because I know that it's one of those artists I've just kind of put off because I'm like, ooh, pop music. You know what I mean? So my expectations are she's going to be like the American version of Adele, essentially. And I love Adele. And you'll know who it is for you. So this is your challenge. I want you to take away from this video right now. Go onto Apple Music and find that one artist that you've just chosen and conditioned yourself to hate. And listen to their like best album. And just listen to the first song off their best album, okay? So this is what did it for me with Coldplay. And then you hear Politic and you're like, wait, what? Coldplay are like Radiohead. And it's like, it really opens up the floodgates. So I just want to reiterate the point. Drop your musical ego because you'll rob yourself. You'll miss out on years of musical enjoyment. And as soon as you do it, you wish you had all that time back to enjoy that artist fully. So thank you for watching and take care. Drop the ego.